Hello everyone, my name is Petra Zoric and today I will present you the paper entitled Modeling the Purchase Process of the InnIoTShop solution in a store environment that I wrote with my co-authors Dragan Perakovic, Marko Perisa and Cvitic. First of all, I will just say something short about myself. My co-authors and I are employed at the University of Zagreb, Faculty of Transport and Traffic Sciences, at the Department of Information and Communication Traffic. I am a PhD student and I am a Publicity and Social Media Chair of this year's conference. So the research overview for today's presentation is as follows. I will tell you something about our research motivation, present you InnIoTShop system architecture and value chain, present you business scenario, talk about ecosystem and business model, and tell you my final thoughts. The independence, which is one of the biggest factors for normal everyday functioning of the person with disabilities, is possible with assistive technology development application, which leads to easier overcoming of obstacles. One of the example of innovative solutions for assistive technology for a visually impaired person is smart shopping cart. In 2016, smart shopping carts for the visually impaired appeared for the first time in India, and it had a tablet in their offer that displayed the prices of products and their characteristics. Scientific research dealing with innovative information communication services and systems in a smart trade environment is increasingly focusing on sensor technologies and networks, especially RFID and Zigbee. Currently available scientific papers are mainly based on developing information and communication services product systems for the visually impaired conceptual or prototype level. And my co-authors and I have noticed that these papers do not have developed business models for specific solutions that they develop. So this paper focuses on proposing a business model based on the conceptual architecture of the InnIoTShop solution that is related to informing visually impaired people through an intelligent store environment. This paper aims to model parts of the InnIoTShop solution using the Transformation Accelerator modeling tool to develop a business scenario and business model and apply the ecosystem. The conceptual InnIoTShop architecture is shown through layers on this slide. You can see the perception layer where sensor nodes route data through the network layer using access points and gateway to fog, cloud computing, and storage. The data collected in the sensor nodes are located on the sensors installed on the shopping cart and in the shopping store, such as RFID tags, weight, beacon, etc. In the middleware layer, data collection, fusing, processing, and storage of collected data occur. The billing process occurs in the business layer, while the necessary application solutions for the InnIoTShop service to end users are located in the application layer. It is important to say that company called InnIoT Solution develops the InnIoTShop service. Service providers could be network infrastructure service providers or network provider and content service providers, like InnIoT Solution in this case. The network operator provides the necessary network infrastructure for service delivery. The required user equipment is a mobile device on which a mobile application is implemented that provides access to the necessary information and whose design contains universal design elements. we divided functionalities offered by this solution into functionalities that are available through the mobile application and through the cloud infrastructure application, and they all are executed in real time. The equipment located in the InnIoTS store within which the InnIoTShop service is performed contains several information and communication subsystems like smart card subsystem, application subsystem, and cloud computing subsystem. There is also the possibility of expanding the system by adding new services for the end user. The concept of service offering is based on the cloud computing concept, whose purpose is to provide everything as a service. In this example, InnIoTS solution develops the platform as a service model of InnIoTShop. The services available in this model are shown on this slide. The basis for developing a business model is a value chain because it explains how business models are created and developed. In the business process proposal from this paper, stakeholders of the value chain of delivery of the InnIoTShop service are these presented on this slide. The user represents a blind or partially sighted person who uses the proposed InnIoTShop service to perform purchasing activities within the custom InnIoTS store. User can also be a person without disabilities or an elderly and slow-moving person. Network provider enables the use of network data traffic technology for InnIoTShop users and in InnIoTS store. InnIoTS solution is a company working on the development, implementation, and maintenance of InnIoTShop solution. Equipment suppliers are companies that enable the procurement of the necessary equipment for the development of solutions. Support service is responsible for resolving difficulties that may arise when using this solution and is a separate part of InnIoTS solution business. InnIoTS store is an intelligent store that offers cards equipped with a network of sensors and actuators. Each of these stakeholders can be assigned roles that specify the meaning of each stakeholder within the transformation accelerator tool. It is possible to define three business scenarios in this case: user and mobile application scenario, a smart store scenario containing a smart card and mobile application, and cloud computing infrastructure scenario in which the focus is on mobile application and cloud infrastructure application. The information and communication system for the delivery of the InnIoTShop service can provide the possibility of service delivery in three different scenarios and is made up of a union of these scenarios. For the development of the business scenario of the InnIoTShop service, it is necessary to identify added values and key drivers and make a SWOT analysis of InnIoTShop service development. The added value relates to the innovation that InnIoTS solution promises to provide to the users of their service if users choose to use it. Depending on the business scenario being observed, the added value can be divided into three parts. First is for user and mobile application scenario. The added value is, for example, safe movement or accuracy of the information. For smart store scenario, the added value is market competition or socially responsible business. And for the cloud computing infrastructure scenario, these are content customization, real-time information, modularity, etc. The key drivers can thus give a big impact on whether a company is doing well or not, and they can also point to problems of poorer performance or business results. The key drivers of solution development are these that are mentioned on this slide, and every one of these drivers is important. These key drivers is important for functioning of our proposed solution. SWOT analysis aims to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the InnIoTShop service. The ability to ensure the independence of the user is one of the greatest strengths of the InnIoTShop service, as it raises the user's self-confidence and eliminates the need for other people or aids. It is essential to ensure the privacy of users, which poses a threat to the proposed solution, because it is not possible to say with certainty that an attack on the system will not happen. The other elements of the SWOT analysis are presented on this slide. You can see here the ecosystem model of the InnIoTShop service that is focused on the user's mobile application and is created in the Transformation Accelerator tool. It doesn't show the whole possible solution and data flows. InnIoTShop service is at the heart of the ecosystem. There are additionally added stakeholders that are not previously mentioned for a more detailed presentation of the model. I will briefly introduce you to this model. InnIoT solution develops the InnIoTShop service and offers it to the InnIoT store. Investors invest in the development of InnIoTShop. The proposed solution involves placing a mobile application on the Play IoT store to download the application to their mobile device. InnIoT solution notifies the support service of all changes related to the InnIoTShop service, which is responsible for reporting changes to applications, difficulties related to the use of the service, and notifying the factory in charge of manufacturing cards of sensor problems and interruptions. It is available at all times to solution users and InnIoTShop. Equipment suppliers supply the necessary equipment like sensors for smart cards to perform the service on time. The network operator provides the necessary telecommunications infrastructure for the InnIoTShop. Once the user has collected the desired product, payment must be made. In doing so, InnIoTShop sends a payment request to the payment service provider, who then responds to the request by approving or rejecting it. And in the Ecosystem Designer module within the Transformation Accelerator tool used to model the ecosystem, it is possible to show the relationship between the stakeholders on the business scenario from 5 points of view. And in this picture, they are marked in different colors, so that green represents the financial relationship, and orange represents the data being exchanged, purple represents the products or services, blue indicates the contractual relationship, while pink represents the operational relationship between stakeholders. The business model must provide business benefits among all stakeholders in a predefined value chain of service delivery. The elements that influence the development of the business model are marked blue on this slide. Key partners have the task of optimizing operations and reducing risks. The key activities are marketing, increasing the number of trading partners, maintaining solution, and cooperating with partners. The task of key resources is to create value for the end users. Value propositions represents the benefits that the solution provides to facilitate the purchase process. The stakeholders affected by the company solutions are the malls and malls customers. There is also marketing channels that can present the solution to end users. Users can generally be segmented into blind people, visually impaired people, and other groups of users without visual impairment. The cost structure refers to the financial costs for the company, and revenue flows indicate the elements based on which the company generates the revenue, such as participation in tenders, grants for innovation, and retail chains that implement the proposed solution in their stores. To conclude, every person who has a visual impairment and moves without assistance faces numerous challenges every day when overcoming obstacles. Currently, there are not many solutions on the market that are in the function of overcoming the daily obstacles of these groups of users. These solutions require high costs of investment in development and maintenance, while on the other hand, there are a small number of potential users, which is why it is necessary to find a sustainable business model. The Transformation Accelerator tool was used to develop the business model and business scenarios of the InnIoTShop service, and also to apply ecosystem elements that are focused on the user's mobile application. When designing the InnIoTShop service, it is essential to apply universal design principles to allow easy use of the service for all groups of users for whom the service is intended. The development and implementation of the InnIoTShop service can lead to an increase in the quality of life and the degree of independence of people with visual impairments, and lead to an increase in the degree of integration of these people into society. Future work will focus on the processes that take place between InnIoTShop service users and a smart card. You can see the picture of my co-authors in case you don't know them, and our email addresses. Contact us contact us if you want some collaboration or have some extra questions about this topic. Also, there are links to our faculty and department where you can inform about our work. Thank you for your attention, and enjoy in the rest of the conference.